Hey guys, Disclaimer Magic here, and this story broke yesterday, although Wizards hasn't commented on this as far as I've seen, which is odd. But somehow some members of the media got a hold of this. I think it might be a release by Netmarble, the company behind this, but let me not bury the lead here. Wizards of the Coast is teaming up with Netmarble, and that's a little generous to phrase it that way, to make, oh yes, a Magic the Gathering MOBA. Now, MOBA is actually a four-letter acronym that stands for Stolen from StarCraft, because, of course, they just took a custom map type that was popular in StarCraft 1 and the custom map scene, I guess you would say, online in that community, and they just stole it, made it into its own separate game, and pretended like they invented something. So the idea goes back to the early 2000s at the very latest, if not earlier. And basically, you got some humans and they're trying to get through, and then you got some other humans they're trying to get through, and they're in one or more lanes, and ta-da. You get to the end and destroy the person's base and you win. So the original versions did not have human-controlled players, and if they did, it was like multiple. It was like you controlled units, because originally it was an RTS game type. So you got a pylon with 10,000 hit points at the end of the alley, and then you get some dragoons, or you drop in whatever, and the number of kills you get, gets you some XP, which is usually just, minerals or whatever. And it's obviously they're rigging an RTS game to play in not an RTS format, but still the combat was the same. The unit, layering and targeting was the same. So it was a pretty good crossover, and it was very, very, very popular. I think it was originally just called Tug of War too, because, that makes sense. Well, that and Dota, Defense of the Ancients, I believe that was a really popular one. That might even go back even earlier than StarCraft to like Warcraft 3 or something I heard, or whatever it was called. I'm sure I'm massacring that. I never played any Warcraft games. So that's a MOBA. The one that everybody talks about is League of Legends. One of the most popular games ever, and one of the most hated games ever, because it's awful. In fact, this whole game type is awful, and it kind of peaked in, 2014, 2015. Even that's being a little generous. Now, League of Legends, Dota, what's the other one, Smite or whatever, that one's a little different. But, any kind of rip-off clone of each other, which is what they all are. Or I should say rip-off clone of somebody else's work from StarCraft. Hey, if you can't tell, I was a famous custom map designer in StarCraft. Now, I didn't design a MOBA or Tug of War, but, I made some pretty big ones. So I said that it's a terrible game type and it's very, very much hated by the players themselves. Why would that be? Oh, thanks for asking. The answer is actually really simple. You have to rely on other people that you don't know. I'll rely on random Russian, Brazilian, and Chinese players in an online MMO right after hell freezes over. That sounds like the worst thing ever. I'd rather rip out my own teeth. And as it turns out, yeah, that's pretty much everybody's opinion. You get stuck with idiots who don't know what they're doing, or who are purposely trolling, and they're running bot accounts, or they're cheating, or whatever. You have no chance of winning. You cannot personally carry your whole team. So this ain't Call of Duty where you can go 40 kills and 1 death, and who cares if your team's a bunch of morons. I mean, even to an extent, I played MechWarrior Online, and if your team's a bunch of idiots, your chances of winning go way down. But especially if you bring your own crew, like my team of 4 people that we usually played with, you're going to win if you're good enough. I mean, I can go out there and get 6 kills out of 12 myself. But in a MOBA, I mean, you're both starting on level ground, and the slightest of mathematical variance or decision tree flaws, or running the wrong way, or just using the wrong ability at the wrong time, whatever little teeny tiny thing that somebody on your team or you do could lose you the entire game, because it's starting at a perfect 50-50, theoretically. So one little screw up by you and your whole team's going to be on your case about it, and one little screw up from your teammates and you're going to hate them forever. Did you guys hear about the League player who put his head through a monitor at an internet cafe because his teammates were so stupid? They had to come get like firemen to get his head out. That happened. That is how I feel every single time I have to play a multiplayer game where I have to rely on my teammates to that extent. I mean, it's perfection or lose. I mean, that's basically what these games are. So MOBAs in general are very, very, very hated. They always have been. but it's so easy to get slightly good at it because you only need to be just that tiny little bit better than your opponents, that if you're matched up against similar strength people, but you're good at video games in general and you're progressively getting better, you'll have an insanely good winning record. So a lot of people find that very attractive of an idea. Well, okay, let's just agree to disagree if you like MOBAs. And you're a big League player, or Dota, Smite, or whatever other clones are. There's like 100 of them out there now. It's just like Battle Royale. PUBG came out, which is a mod for another game anyway, which is based on a movie, which is probably based on a game, which is probably based on a book. And yet the douchebag behind PUBG acts like he invented it and nobody else should be able to make it but him. So, wow, what a selfish douche. But oh look, it's popular, and now there's a million different, Battle Royale games either made from scratch or added to other games. Big surprise. Well, that's what happened with MOBAs like years and years and years ago. So the market is oversaturated, everybody's sick of seeing them. What a great time, 2018, to launch the MTG, Project M, I believe it's being nicknamed for now. This is quite possibly the stupidest licensing decision that Wizards has ever made. Will it be popular? I'm going to say no. They missed that train by bare minimum a year. Bare minimum. And so, okay, you love MOBAs and you love Magic and you're going to play it, right? Okay, let me throw this one out there. It's on mobile and it's free. If that doesn't throw up red flags in your head, then you must be new to this. Okay, here's how MOBAs work that are free to play. You pay more money and you win. Well, especially if the game was developed in like China or Korea, Japan, it's just more accepted over there by the community that a game would be pay to win. It's not so accepted over in America. Oh, and Europeans are having none of that either. Don't know why. Must be a cultural thing. But basically, like if you look at like even the Game of War clones and stuff, oh my God, they're just all Chinese. I mean, and they're just all pay to win garbage. And for some reason, people play them. Well, guess where Netmarble is from? South Korea. Okay, we have a saying in the software and game design industry, because remember, I have a degree in software design. And that saying is, don't have a foreign company make your game. I could go into the 100 or so reasons why you shouldn't have a foreign company make and manage your game. But let's just say there are a lot of them. There's a lot of reasons. Language barrier, quality of anything, just, oh my God, I don't even know where to start, but let me just say there are dozens and dozens of reasons not to let a foreign company work on your property. I mean, the one benefit you get is, oh cool, cheaper labor, but other than that, oh my God. Now, luckily, Netmarble has made some other stuff, but looking at what they've made in the past, it's extremely, extremely generic. It's just, hey, let's look at what everybody else is doing. Cool, let's do that. Like, they made Star Wars Force Arena, which is a MOBA, and it's just the most cliche, typical thing I've ever seen. Now, looking at the gameplay footage, which, yeah, there's gameplay footage out already. Like, I know, this came out of nowhere. Link in the description. I don't want to throw it up. I don't want Wizards to tell them to DMCA me. Like, this is literally for review, and I would cut it apart and only use 10% of it. They'd still sue me, and I'd counter-sue them, and I'd win, but I don't have time for that crap. So yeah, I don't think that they're exactly, D3 Go, the makers of Puzzle Quest, which was wildly successful because it was a fun and fair and interesting game. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, I don't care what the graphics look like, to an extent. I don't care about much more than, is the game good? Is it fun? Is it playable? And is it worth my time? And the answer was yes across the board. Full disclosure, once again, they did sponsor my channel, but I played the game before that and loved it. So anyway, this is coming out in 2018 sometime, so, I mean, I'm on the fence about whether or not this will succeed, because I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Epic, which, yeah, that Epic, shut down Paragon, or I should say they announced that they're shutting down Paragon. They couldn't make it work. This is Epic Games we're talking about, guys. They're not exactly Netmarble. So I just don't see a reason to play this other than, oh, cool, Planeswalkers in 3D come to life, which, I mean, yeah, I can't write that off. That is significant. I'm at least going to try the game. But it's got so much going against it. I mean, if this was like, every expert in mathematics and game design and everything came together and made a MOBA, and it's not on mobile, it's like a full-blown, like, AA title, I guess, and then it just happened to be skinned with, Magic the Gathering stuff, then, okay, cool, then that would look somewhat hopeful, though not the best game to design right now, maybe? But at least then it has some effort behind it. I'm not saying Netmarble doesn't know what they're doing, but I am saying that they're very uncreative and very copycat-ish from what I saw. So you've got a generic nothing special blah, MOBA that they designed. Cool. And I mean, Wizards of the Coast is a huge company, so they're going to put an effort to not, disappoint them, I would think. But let's see what they have going against them. Everybody hates MOBAs. They're sick of MOBAs. They've been playing them to death. The mobile market is flooded with MOBAs, so they're going to have to market it to death just to get people into it in the first place. It has nothing to do with card games. It's not an RPG, so it's not story heavy and lore heavy where people would play it just for that, like if it was like some kind of Skyrim clone. It's free to play, which in MOBAville means, pay to win, basically. There's no cosmetics or nothing. I mean, unless it's like, oh, skip a wait time or whatever, but even then, people are just going to out-level you. And how do MOBAs work? Well, one, they have to be designed flawlessly. Like we're talking StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2 level perfection, where they like tweak the distance by 5 pixels on the Void Ray beam or whatever because people are winning too much with it online. Like that level of balancing where they monitor every match every day and just fix it so that it's virtually perfect. I mean, you need teams of people to make that work because MOBAs, like I said, they start at 50-50. And if there's overpowered units or overpowered tactics or some kind of exploit or cheat or anything, it needs to be stamped out immediately because they're so sensitive to very slight little variations affecting the game. And then on top of that, what's the big thing about MOBAs? I mean, it's just, okay, the decisions, cool. Well, you can make decisions, right, about what skills to use when and all that. It's pretty obvious. You just become a good player. So then what? Ultra precise controls, which is not the first thing that I think of when I think of mobile phones. You got your big old fat sausage finger, and that's it. I mean, what else? Tilt? I don't think they're going to add tilt controls to this game. It's not a racing game. So your one big old fat finger with no keyboard keys, no joysticks, nothing. That's going to control the whole game. Wow, that's dumb. And then the fact that MOBAs are, full 3D usually with all kinds of effects and stuff with very little, to scale the game up and down. You're going to need probably a high performance device to run it, or you're going to lag and then just automatically do worse. You can't really upgrade your phone to run faster. And then when it heats up, it starts running at, downclocking the chip in the GPU to run at lower speeds. And then you start dropping frames. Just games on mobile are just garbage. They run like crap. They take up too much room. And phones are just not designed to run games. Neither are tablets. They just aren't. It's just a bad platform to design on. There's no nicer way to put it, and there's no two ways about it. It's just not good to make full 3D, like PC-style games, like a MOBA, on a phone. I mean, some games are suited to phones, like, well, Pokemon Go, I guess, but not MOBAs. That's just so stupid to put them on mobile. I can't think of one highly successful, popular, not universally hated MOBA on mobile. So this as an idea seems incredibly stupid, but I mean, this isn't like Wizards of the Coast is developing a MOBA. Ooh, here we go. This is a big multi-million-dollar project. Wow, what a great investment. This is like, hey, you guys are making a MOBA, want to skin it with some magic stuff and give us like 10%? All right, cool. We'll advertise it for you. Done. And like, that's it. Like, they're probably going to make this game anyway, but they just had blank 3D models of just mannequins, and then they're like, what should we fill in? I mean, you just need art and sound effects. And then you rename the abilities. I mean, this is not hard. So I doubt this is actually like a reskin of another game, unless it actually is. It could be a slight reskin of Star Wars Force Arena. I mean, they could have seen Force Arena and they're like, oh, look, that's popular. Let's make a Magic version. I mean, that's Pokemon Go is basically, what's that other one that by Niantic? I don't know, that other one they made. I mean, oh, they added some features and there's slight differences, but come on, it's the same damn engine. Virtually the same controls, same database, same map system, same GPS. I mean, the underpinnings are the same. I wouldn't call it a reskin because a reskin is a reskin, but, it's a clone. So this looks like low effort, just who cares if it works or not, just let's rake in some money for Wizards, maybe just throw it out there and see if it sticks. I'm sure that's not how they're going to market it, but I guarantee if it starts getting bad reviews and people are quitting it left and right, that they're going to stop mentioning it real damn quick. So like I said, I'll try it. If it runs on an emulator, I'll get some gameplay going from it, but I doubt I'm going to play this long term, especially since I am just not going to, I am unwilling to and unable to dump like $100 into a free mobile game just to have a chance at winning. I'd rather it be based on skill and my one single big fat finger don't go together very well. I mean, even the Nintendo Wii was too imprecise. I mean, those motion controls were not precise enough for like, I'd say pro gamers, but obviously I'm not really like a pro gamer. I'm just like an adept gamer, I guess. Like a highly competitive, precise gamer, you know what I'm talking about. Like not a 6-year-old, for example. So what do you guys think? Check out the link in the description that I'll probably forget to put there, and then somebody will remind me, and then it'll be there later. To check out the video from, I guess, Netmarble. I don't know. I guess they made it. I have no idea. I don't think Wizards made it. Either way, check it out. Let me know what you think. Will you play it? Do you think it'll suck? Do you think it'll be a complete and utter disaster? And at the end of the day, do you think Wizards even cares? I mean, it's just so low risk, low who cares? I mean, whatever. They're probably putting in zero effort, except maybe some art direction, and then they're taking a percentage cut for using their IP. I mean, it's like a who cares deal, like a who cares how it does, we'll make money either way, zero investment risk kind of thing. Like if it fails, that's Netmarble's problem. That's the way I feel about, at least my guess at how their business relationship is structured. I mean, remember, this is bare minimum the 12th Magic game to come out. Game number 12. Okay, this is not like, oh, look, they're finally making a digital thing. No. And since I know somebody's going to say, what the hell are you talking about? And then other people are going to say, no, it's actually number 17. It depends upon how you measure it. So Apprentice, Battlegrounds, Duels of the Planeswalkers, which I grouped all them together, even though they're quite different. The Magic the Gathering Chandelar game, Magic Workstation, which, okay, Magic Online, MTGO, duh. Tactics, which I wish I would have played that. That looked pretty cool. Puzzle Quest, Arena, the unnamed Cryptic game, and then this would be, what did I even say, 12th? Yeah. So I don't think that this is like all in, oh my god, it's a huge investment, it's a huge new direction. No, it's like some little thing that they think might work. So at the end of the day, don't get too excited about it, and if it fails, it fails. I don't think Wizards even cares, really. So let me know your comments down below, and let me know how much you hate MOBAs. And if you're going to be some butthurt fanboy of one of the MOBAs I took a dump on in this video, just don't even bother. I'm going to delete your comment. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.